Welcome back to another episode of Normal Aside, where today we're going over an anime that I recommended, Suzume. It's Wired, and I'm here with.
Audacious Bozo.
So the movie we're discussing is a movie I recommended, like I said already, called Suzume. And let's just get into it. Let's get into the rating. What do you give it?
Uh, Fuck, dude. That's a good question. Thank you for asking that. So, from my understanding, the people that directed this or whatever have also made other really good movies that I don't know off the top of my head, but I can look at it in here in a bit. So, I remember looking at the movies and thinking, well, in comparison to the other movies that this guy has made, they're in my opinion they're not as good. This movie at least is not as good. But if I were to look at it just solely based off of the movie itself, I'd rate it a solid 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would,
I enjoyed
which
it.
isn't that bad, because I was gonna give it a 7.5, maybe an 8, so maybe like a
Hmm.
7.7.
Right. Because it was good.
Yeah,
I watched it, but I feel like it could have gone into a lot of things a bit more. But you can only fit so much into a 2 hour time frame. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
But I do feel like some of the shit was unnecessary as well. Like, I feel like the road trip wasn't necessary in the movie
Ye-
later on in the movie.
I feel like a lot of the traveling they could have cut or shortened,
Right.
because
Because
it
it could
seemed
have
like
been like,
most of the time it was just traveling.
right. And then I feel like, I don't know, I don't know if it was world building that they were trying to go for, but I feel like they could, like you said, they could have cut that shit and it still would have had the same, what is it,
Effect.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I really wish they had gone more into the story of like, just all of it, right? Like the doors and everything. They didn't really go into it too deep. It's like, what the fuck are these doors? Are they only in Japan? And if not,
I
what other, you know, closures
I
are there?
I only assumed it was only Japan. So basically, the story is there's these doors, and they're like portals to the ever after, right? That the living people can't go into,
Right.
and there's these closers. They go around. From what one of the guys talks about is that there's closers, and they go around Japan, and they like do this prayer, and then they close the door, right? I guess to keep it locked in check.
Right. My
Oh,
question is, when they close the door, can it be reopened? Well,
I was just
okay,
about to
we'll
mention
talk.
that.
What first off, what would you rate it?
A 7.75.
Oh wait, yeah, you said 7.7. Sorry. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I
I
completely.
I kind of enjoyed it. I thought a lot of the animation reminded me of The Weathering with You, which
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
looked
yeah.
at some of the recommendations, and the people that made Weathering with You made this movie, made
There you
Suzume.
go.
So it like I thought it was good. Again, I normally think something's really good if it makes me shed a tear.
I almost shed a tear.
I was like maybe choked up, right?
Yeah, choked up is
But
better.
and I was like, oh my god, okay, it's gonna happen, right? A tear's gonna form. I was getting choked up. Something I don't remember
Uh,
what part about it was making me
I choked up
feel
when
emotional.
I choked up when she found her younger self, and like her younger
Yeah,
self was panicking,
yeah.
like what?
Okay,
My mom's gonna
now
worry
that you're
about me.
saying it, that's when it. Okay, so we choked over the same part.
Yeah, bro. Like how pure-hearted. It's
Yeah,
like
she's like, oh, I know my
this
mom.
poor
We'll get
girl.
there. We'll get there. We're just jumping straight to the end.
Right.
So the story follows Suzume. She's the main character. So basically, a tsunami hits her hometown, and
Her
just
voice actor's a baddie.
her voice
Sorry.
actor.
Sorry, that wasn't necessary.
So a tsunami hits her hometown, and she can't find her mom. It's clear her mom's dead at this point, right? Because she's the main character. So her aunt, Tamaki, she's a baddie, takes her
He's a
in.
baddie too.
She's
Hell
a
yeah.
baddie. So her aunt takes her in, and there was a part which I'm confused if it was 12 years or 10 years. Because at some point she was like, oh, the past 10 years. And then another part, she's like, the past 12 years I've been looking after you. I'm like, well, which one is it? Right.
Right.
So it
Hey, bro, I'm gonna
seems
keep it 100 with you. It sounds like you got a laundry machine going right next to your mic. So I don't know if your thing's picking it up or not.
mine is not. It's just you.
Okay, cool. That way, you know just in case.
Oh, yeah.
But so you said you're confused about the 10 or 12 years?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a subtitling error or an
I,
voice acting error. I assume
um
it's a subtitling error because I don't think they'd let that shit slide.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that
I
maybe you
think,
misread it.
nah, I definitely didn't misread it because that was one of the things I was like 10, 12. It was one of the things that really stuck out to me.
Or maybe it was one of those things where she was taking care of her for 10 years, but she was like looking after her for 12. You get what I mean? So like
No,
she
how does
was
that?
living with her for 10 years, but like while her mom was alive, she would sometimes look after her for like for like the first 2 years.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to make it make sense,
Yeah,
okay?
you can't make
And
sense out of
honestly,
nothing.
I think I'm kind of doing it, like I think I'm cooking, but anyways, yeah, they kind of introduce us to the Iwato family. Sounds like
Yeah.
some Ewok shit on me.
Yo.
And they so after they introduce us, what we didn't just go over was the beginning where Suzume, the main girl's a young girl, and she's like lost. And what we find out later is the ever after. So she somehow managed to go through a door, and you're not supposed to be able to go through a door
As a
unless you're like dead,
yeah.
right? Like it's essentially the afterlife.
Yep.
But yeah, so like I don't know. She got lost. She went through a fucking door trying to find her mom, I guess. And it was weird because like in the ever after when it was introducing us to her, it looked like a like a
That's what
post-apocalyptic
I
winter
was
place.
thinking too. Until the
Mm.
end where she was like everything's on fire. So I was thinking maybe it was like ash falling down.
Nah, nah,
No.
that was winter, bro. Bro, her breath was coming out. Hey, when I told you that
Hey,
shit was gonna have me acting
uh
up.
I see I figured that's what it was because I was gonna message you and be like, hey, I get it.
She was
Uh,
huffing and puffing way too hard. I don't
yeah.
think she was running.
She's just like me for real. Just walking and out of breath.
Yeah, but yeah, so who was it? Tamaki, the aunt, ends up taking care of Suzume because her mom disappeared. I don't think they ever went over how she like died. I don't
It is a tsunami. Her head probably just got swept away.
That's crazy.
That's fucked though, right? That's fucked.
All right. The ocean stays taking people, non-consensual.
For real.
That's fucked, bro.
God damn.
Rest in peace. Anyways, yeah, they introduced us to them, and so like, what is it? They're having breakfast and shit. So Suzume goes to school, and on her way to school, this is where we get introduced to another character, uh,
So
another one of the mains.
Sota.
Yeah, Soda,
Yeah.
Soda, whatever. This guy is the closer, right? Which we'll find out later. He's the guy that goes around closing the doors and shit. And he asks Suzume, he's like, "Hey, yo, bitch, you know, any
Yeah.
abandoned places around here
With some doors.
with some
He's
doors?"
like,
And Suzume's bitch ass, little thotty ass, falls in love.
you're right then and
What?
there. I'm
Come on
like,
now,
man, why can't this happen to me?
right? Life ain't that easy. I
For
guess
real.
dude. It's the pretty privilege, is what it is.
That's what it is.
Fuck. God.
So,
Anyways, yeah. He's like, bitch, do you know where any of these abandoned places are? And she's like, yeah, you gotta take a left and shit, right? She gave him directions. And like her ass getting all excited, falling in love and shit. She's like, I can't just let him go alone,
yeah.
right? Which, yes, you can, bitch. You're a middle school or high school girl. This is a grown ass man going to an abandoned place. You definitely can let him go alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she
But
didn't have
no,
to follow.
hell no, she didn't. Because if I was Sota, you know,
Might end up on a list somewhere. Nah, you're in Japan. You're safe.
yeah,
Just don't let nobody in the States know.
yeah, for real.
Yeah,
But yeah, no. So she ends up, booking it after him, trying to get to the place on her bike. And okay, no, no, no. So essentially, what it was she didn't feel good about it, right? And so she goes to the abandoned place, and she sees that there's this, like, she's walking through the abandoned place. I don't know, it's like an abandoned little part of town, and they end up going into this, like, is it like an amphitheater or something? Like it's like an
it kind of
amphitheater,
looked
but it's
like a garden area. Like we're.
garden or a pool. I think a
Nah,
pool
that shit
because it
was
looked like
too
there's a beach
shallow.
chair. Well, but there's a beach chair though.
I don't know.
I
I
don't know if
wasn't
you
looking
saw
too
that.
much in the background.
I think it might have been like a pool or something, like one of those pools with like the huge glass dome over it. It had a glass dome over it. We'll just say that it might have been a greenhouse.
Oh, maybe.
Anyways, she sees a door that just so happens to be in the middle of this big ass dome, which conveniently placed, right? Who puts a fucking door in the middle of a dome like that? Because if you look, every other door had like a reason to be there, kind of, right?
Yeah.
But who the fuck puts a door in the middle of like a dome like that? Don't make, you know what? It don't make sense. But
Well,
anyways,
and here's my thing, right? Because the doors are at just abandoned places. So, but they all were entrances to somewhere, right?
yeah, why not cut them bitches down?
Like the school or the Ferris wheel. But this one was just in the middle of that dome for no
Yeah, that's what
reason.
I'm saying.
It was
That
just
that's
there.
literally what I just said. Like, make it make sense.
You
It
can't
don't make
you
sense.
can't make it make sense.
But
No,
it don't make sense. It
it
don't.
don't.
Like, it does not at all. But anyway, she's there and she sees this door and she opens it, and that's when she starts seeing like the ever after, right? She tries going through the door, but she just ends up on the other side of the fucking like dome, right?
Yeah,
So she keeps going back and forth through the door trying to get in. She's like, what the fuck is going on, right? And then she looks down and she sees what looks like, in my opinion, looked like one of those Pokemon when she picked it up, the seal, what's known as Daijin later on, the white cat.
a
Uh,
seal.
yeah, he was a seal. A seal, like as in, they sealed away the war, the word, not like
Oh,
arr.
yeah. Well, you said seal and then you said Pokemon. And I was like, that
Oh
thing
no
did
no
not
no.
look like seal from Pokemon.
No 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 no. The Pokemon, that bug Pokemon, like the cocoon, like the sharp one that
Oh,
turns into, I believe it's a
Metapod.
Beedrill. Is it Metapod, the one that turns into Beedrill? The one that looks
Oh,
mean? Not the soft ass one that was to the
oh,
moon.
man, what is that one called?
You know
Kakuna.
what I
Kakuna.
Is it Kakuna?
Yeah,
I'm gonna look
I
it up.
think. Is it?
Yeah, Kakuna, bro. It reminded me of Kakuna, like the thing, because it was kind of shaped like that. And she picked it up and fucking it started squirming around in her hands. So she freaked out. And honestly, she did what I reckon a majority of people would do. She's like freaking out. She just says creepy and fucking books it out of
Yeah.
there. And I was like, okay, which I understand, but at the same
Finally,
time, I was
a
like,
main character with some common sense.
yeah, right, right. Well, but at the same time, I was like, bitch, at least close the door, right? Because I was like, she sees that there's some shit on the other side, and she's just gonna leave the door open like that.
Yeah.
And that's where the problems start. So she ends up going back to the high school, which I would have thought that would have been like a huge issue if like someone just leaves and then goes back to school all fucking late like that.
I don't think she went to school because didn't she? Did
No, she
she go?
did.
She did.
she went back to school because she was on her way to school, and that's when she was like, I can't let him go there by himself. So she told her friend near the train track, she's like, hold on, I got shit to do. And she booked it back to the abandoned place. Then
Yeah.
she got to school, and she was looking out the window, and that's when you get introduced to the worm. This fucking big ass, like reddish,
Yeah,
darkish,
they're eating
turtle
lunch in
thing.
class, and she looks outside the window, and she's like, "Hey, homegirl, you see that over there?" She was
Yeah.
like, "I don't see nothing. You're tripping, right?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "You don't see that right over there." And it's this big ass purple. It kind of looked like a cloud at first. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Nah, there ain't
I didn't
nothing
think that.
there." I did.
No, no, no.
And
It's because it looked like smoke at first. She was like,
yeah,
"Well, hey, what do you guys see that fire or whatever over there?"
and she
Like,
was
nah,
like,
bitch, you
"Nah, I don't
tripping.
see no fire." So then she leaves. She just left class, went back over there. And that's where she like runs into Soda again.
So okay, but she left after she saw that that thing was like fucking coming out of the thing, right? She's like, "Hold on, that's where I was just at, where the door was. I need
Yeah,
to fucking go back and see what the fuck I just did." And that's when, yeah, like you said, she goes back and she sees that Soda's trying to close the door,
struggling, by the way. So,
struggling.
I mean, me personally, I see a girl there, I'm going like 110%, you know? I can't look
Yeah.
weak.
Hell yeah. Bro, that's bro is acting like when I asked my mom to close the door every time she would open it, bro.
Like, and then on top of that, the door like swings open more, right?
Uh
And oh, so basically, this worm is also causing an earthquake.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's not
if it falls
it
to the
just
floor, it will cause an earthquake in that area.
yeah, because of how fucking massive it is.
But nobody else can see these except for Suzume and Soda.
I think Suzume can see it because she's somehow managed to cross over to the ever
That's what I
after,
was thinking. That's what I was
like when
thinking
she was
too.
young. Yeah. But yeah, so they're trying to save the world, and I think it did not the world save that little town, and I think it did end up hitting the ground.
It did fall,
Just
yeah. But it
I thought
wasn't as
everybody was
big.
dead.
I thought people were gonna die too. I was kind of getting
Bro,
ready for it.
bro, when that shit when it slammed to the ground and it covered like the entire town, I was like, bro, everybody just fucking died. No way, because you just hear the crashing, and I was like, all
Yeah.
these bitches just got crushed like some fucking ants, dude. But no, I don't know how. In my opinion, like I don't if it's strong enough to leave an earthquake like that, you would think it would have just crushed everybody. But hey, can't make
Well,
it make
maybe it's
sense.
because they can't see it. I feel like if they could see
Okay,
and they got crushed underneath it, because it's technically not in their world, right? It's like in
you
a
can't see sulfur, but if you breathe in enough, you'll die.
yeah, but that's real,
Okay,
and
this
that's
shit
not
thing's real enough to fucking cause
okay.
earthquakes.
Yeah, but earthquakes, but it's not like there's no
This thing's
physical
real.
body to it. Like
This thing's real enough. Hold on, this thing's real enough to open a fucking door and keep that bitch open. While two people's, I actually, you know what? It can't be that. I feel like they make this thing look like it weighs more than it actually does because the way that they shut that shit on that thing, you would think it probably isn't as dense as they want you to believe. Because think
mm,
about it.
maybe it's
If
just
you
like
try,
forceful. Like maybe like a strong gust of wind. You know
yeah,
how
yeah, like
sometimes it just yanks
telekinesis.
that door open.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Maybe it's
yeah. I think
something like
that's what it
that.
is. They just wanted to make it look a lot stronger than it actually was.
Yeah.
But when that thing later on in the movie, when it fully came out, I was like, oh, fuck.
I was like, she's getting real.
Yes. I mean, she was already pretty real, but
Shit was getting
that
even
fucking thing,
realer.
realer, yeah. So somehow they managed to close the door. And that's when she realizes, because I think he tells her what's going on, and then he tells her, like, yeah, the seal that was here is fucking gone now. And she's like, seal? And he's like, yeah. And then that's when I don't know if she told him or what, but I think she realized that Daijin
Well,
was the seal.
she so he gets hurt, right? Because the building
Hmm.
starts coming down a little bit, and it cuts him up. And she's like, "Shit, daddy, let's go back to my place. I'll patch you up real quick, you know." and
Hell
then
yeah.
maybe you could patch some up that I got. You know?
Give you a little victory lap on this train of mine. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So they go back to Suzume's house, and that's when the Daijin pops up in her window. She feeds it, and that's when the cat's like, "Oh, Suzume." Suzume is like sweet, and
Stay.
that's when Sota notices like, "Oh, that's the keystone, right?" Pretty much. And the Daijin's like, "Hey, we can't be having you around. You're just trouble." Turns him into a
Oh
chair,
me.
and
Honestly.
I was like, "Why a chair?" I guess because that's what he's sitting on, right? But still,
Also, why was he sitting on the kid's chair? There's a good ass big chair right behind him. I don't know if you noticed that.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with that guy.
Yeah, if anything, Daijin was doing him a favor.
Yeah.
That's all I'm seeing.
And I was thinking, if he's the chair and he's only got 3 legs as this chair, is that third leg his dick? No? You didn't?
No, I didn't think that at all.
I thought that.
I thought it was more like, an animal type thing where he was running on his hands and feet. But hey,
like
I,
like
to
bear
each his
crawls?
own. Yeah, I thought he was running around like a fucking monkey, essentially.
I was like, is that his dick?
I
That's what I
was
was
not like
thinking.
that. Yeah, you're weird for that one.
Sometimes great minds don't think alike, I guess.
Yeah, no. No, you had your mind in the gutter, I believe, on that one.
I was
But
just
yeah,
thinking he was about to smash, but he didn't. Said he got turned into a
honestly,
chair.
he probably was gonna smash. And I
Shit.
read, so this dude's like 5 years older than this girl,
Yeah,
and
he's already in uh he's in college.
bruh don't get bitches his own age,
He's
dog.
in
That's why he's
college.
going after little girls, dude. On me, he just
Do
like
you
me for
think
real.
do you do you think it wasn't uh do you think it was because she
Sometimes,
did so much for him that it just kind of felt like he was obligated to do that?
nah, no.
No?
He probably felt like he was obligated to hit it the moment she came to help him. Like, come on now, bro. Let's be real. Look at
Yeah.
him. He looks like I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah, he gets
anyways.
turned into a chair and Daijin takes the fuck off. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, bitch, you're a chair now. Which, honestly, if someone can turn somebody into a chair, you would think that they wouldn't need to be trapped as a seal for a fucking door. Like, that's some otherworldly shit, turning something into a chair. Why not turn the fucking door into a chair? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
right?
Solve the problem right away.
Bruh.
Cut the door down, dude. Literally, cut the doors down. Easiest thing in my
I
life.
didn't
Why do they
really
gotta close
understand the
them?
chair. Or the
I don't
keystone. I
either.
didn't understand the keystone. Or
I
why it was outside of the door instead of
not in the
in the
door.
door. Where the problem's happening.
Right. Or like why is it that later on in the movie he had to be stabbed into the worm, but this keystone just had to be stabbed like outside of the door?
Maybe because that one was like the boss. That was the boss worm.
That was the only worm. There's only one worm.
Yeah, but it was like his whole body's out. Because the last one was going to destroy the world if it fell to the floor.
Not the world.
Yeah, he said that the
Tokyo.
earth would break.
Ain't no way he said
He
that.
said the earth would break and it would basically just redo everything. Like everything would just repeat again.
Who said that?
The Daijin, whenever Suzume was about to stab Sota into the worm,
No, 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 no,
yeah,
no.
he was like
I
he's
remember him saying that tens of millions of people were going to die.
I
I don't
remember him
remember him saying that
saying
the world was
the
going to die.
Earth will, like, it'll basically break the world.
Nah, I think you're tripping.
Nah, bro, that's what he said. 100%.
No.
That's 100% what he said.
Look, and the reason that I know that wouldn't
Do you
happen.
really want to go? Remember when we were watching Prison School and you were wrong about the
Yes, I will
peanuts?
go. I will go into this one. I will, because ain't no way that not even the size of Tokyo is gonna do that. Okay, get real. I remember him saying tens of millions are
That's
gonna die. That ain't the whole world, buddy.
that's not what he said,
That
buddy.
is what he said.
No, he did
Ow.
not. Bro, I'm telling you that's not what he said.
That's literally what he said. Hey man, like if you're okay with being wrong, that's fine.
I'm not
But
gonna be
like
wrong because I'm going back into the movie as we
you're
speak to prove my
literally wrong.
point.
You're wrong.
When I'm right,
You're so
when
wrong.
I'm right, I'm gonna take the screenshot from the movie and put it
Go
up.
ahead. Go ahead. And when
So
you're wrong,
and when I'm
yeah.
wrong, there won't be no
Spread your
screenshot there.
cheeks so I can spit on your asshole.
Oh, no shit. Now I'm trying to be wrong. So, anyways, I don't even remember where we were at.
Yeah, anyways, Daijin turns Soda into a fucking chair.
They
Takes off
start they
on some
start
dude
running
shit.
off. They end up on this ferry, and they go to a different part of Japan.
Right. And so
You can suck
Tamaki,
my dick. I'm gonna go ahead and just screenshot
keep
this.
playing it so you can see what the fuck I'm talking about. You're gonna see,
I'm
oh,
playing
millions
it.
of people are gonna die.
I'm playing. Yeah, millions of people are gonna die if the Earth breaks. God.
Bitch, that's billions if the earth breaks, Mr. The World Ends. Suck my ass.
All he said was a lot of people about to die. That's all he said. He didn't say millions.
Okay, so if a
God,
lot of
God,
people
I
are
stay
gonna
right.
die, that
I
don't mean
stay
the,
right.
no, no,
That's
no, no, no,
crazy.
no. You're wrong.
That's crazy. Let me
The
just go ahead
world
and put
breaks
that
these
screenshot
nuts,
in,
man.
seeing how right I am.
Mr.
So
The World
they end
Ends.
up on a
Suck my
ferry.
dick.
Okay,
No, the
if
world
the
doesn't
Earth
end.
breaks, what happens to the world?
Bitch, when we dropped the atom bomb, the earth broke.
Nah,
Suck my dick.
no, it didn't.
Bitch, when I dig into the ground, the earth breaks.
No, it doesn't.
The Mariana Trench, the earth broke then. You know what an earthquake is? It's when tectonic plates rub together and break the earth.
God,
Stupid.
you can never just be wrong.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because I'm never wrong.
No,
You're the
you're always
problem.
wrong. I'm never the problem.
You can't even do basic math. No wonder you can't
Yes, I can.
fully comprehend what Daijin is saying.
You're putting words in there.
You know what? It's fine. It takes a god to understand a god, you lowly beast.
You don't understand.
You don't understand yourself.
I do understand.
No,
If
you
the
don't.
Earth breaks, everyone's dead.
You're stupid.
The world restarts.
You're dumb.
God, you're so retarded.
You're actually dumb.
You're dumb. You're actually dumb.
You're so
That's
dumb.
crazy.
It's unbelievable.
I'm
What's
literally
crazy is
watching
how
the
dumb you
movie.
are.
I'm watching the movie as we speak.
Yeah, good for you. Keep watching the movie and realize how dumb you are.
You know what? We'll just let the people decide, all right? For those
Yeah,
who
let the people
watch,
decide how dumb you
it's
are.
an hour in. All right, that's the part we're talking about. It's an hour into the movie. And y'all could just put down in the comments what y'all think. Because I'm pretty sure
about
I'm
how
right.
dumb he is.
About how retarded Bozo is.
You're actually dumb.
God.
Maybe your name should be Bozo with how dumb you are.
I can't, because even if my name was still Bozo, it still wouldn't be as dumb as you.
You're stupid. Anyways.
They end up on a ferry and they're in a different part of Japan.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. And so Suzume has to explain to Tamaki where the fuck she is. And she tells her, I'm sleeping over at a friend, at a friend's house, which is a fucking lie. And Tamaki knows that shit right away. She's like, bitch, I know you ain't
She's
hanging
like,
out
you
with a
better not be
guy."
with no boys. She's
Better
like,
not be getting pregnant by like your mom did.
she's like, I
ain't.
thought you could keep going.
Nah. That's all I had to
We
say.
both said the same thing at the same time. I just figured. So then they get to this on the ferry. They like see a bunch of people taking pictures of the cat.
Posting on social media.
Yeah, and that's how kind of how they like tracks the cat's location, right? They're like, oh, he's here. I remember the first place they went to,
Which is
and
also kind of like, how do they do that? How are they tracking this fucking thing? Oh, they're
social
just going.
media.
I feel like they're probably just like, he's kind of like in this area type of shit, right?
Yeah, I think if you were to see like, let's just say the Santa Monica Pier, you'd be like, okay, he's in California in this area
No.
somewheres.
I have no fucking clue. Oh, wait, that's the one with the big ass Ferris wheel,
Yeah,
right?
that's the one in GTA.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, he's around this area then. I
How
guess
are we
that's
gonna
just what
find
they
him? No
did.
fucking clue.
Yeah.
But we'll get there and figure it out when we do.
So they're basically going around and Suzume's helping Soda be a closer.
Right.
And what's the first place that they I guess the
The school.
second place. Yeah, the school. So to close the door, you have to like imagine the people that lived in the ruins, right? Like what it was like before the town or village or whatever got abandoned.
Yeah, you have to like, what is it? You have to
Imagine.
imagine what it was like before it became ruins.
Yeah,
Like how active it was of the people around it and all
the
that shit.
memories that people would make.
My thing is, was it like dead people that they were imagining or like currently alive people?
I think
Or like you
well,
said,
that's where
memories.
that's where they met Chica. Chica, right? On the cuz she was rolling
Yeah.
by. And she lived in that town because she said she went to school there or middle school.
Right.
So maybe it's just the people that were alive.
So like memories, like you said, which I
Yeah.
think that seems more. Yeah, I'd go with memories. I like that. Or like energy, maybe
What
energy and memories,
energy? I'd be like
feelings.
a bunch of corpses on the floor. People are
I think it
dead.
was.
And
I think it was like feelings and memories. Like you had to imagine the feelings of the shit that the people went through coming
yeah,
to fucking school every day because that shit was ass.
everyone going to school seemed so happy. Couldn't be here.
Could not.
Could not be in the U.S. All right.
But that's because they're trained to be happy. They're trained to be like fucking robots. Don't question us, you fools! And if you do, society's gonna put you in your fucking place. Welcome to Japan, bitch. Yeah, couldn't be here in the US. Full of free thinkers. Yeah. Anyways,
Nah, there's
yeah,
still a lot
so
of sheep.
anyways, yeah. All these happy go lucky fucks. She was imagining them trying to close this damn door at the middle school. And Soto is having a difficult time because he's a fucking chair now.
Yeah, he's a fucking. He can't do much, right?
Now he can run around and shit,
Yeah,
and he can talk.
he be moving hella quick.
Hell yeah,
He
bro! He's
be
galloping like a steed.
speeding. Yeah, I was like, God damn,
But
bro is moving.
so he's struggling. I honestly don't know how he's keeping a foothold on the on like when he was trying to close the door,
I
but
have no clue. I was like, how?
maybe he retained his human strength, right? Just like he did with his speed. Well, I think he got faster as a chair, to be honest,
Yeah, I would assume you're faster as a chair.
which is wild. Either that or he's just slow as fuck as a human. One of the two.
Yeah,
But
either way.
yeah, so they go to this middle school because like shit's about to hit the fan yet again because so here's my thing, and it's gonna because I'm kind of switching it up. Not switching it up, but I was confused. Is Daijin opening the doors or are these doors getting forced open?
I think they're getting forced open because I think at some point, like towards the end, Suzume
Oh,
was like, "Oh, you're just leading us to the doors that need to be closed, right?" So I think he was like
yeah,
leading
but
them, but also just being a little shithead.
Yeah, but like at the same time though,
Because he
I
was
don't
not
know, bro.
useful.
He wasn't useful, but I feel like what is it? I
He
don't
wasn't
know, dude.
useless.
Like he seemed a bit chaotic, dude. Like I feel like maybe he did open one
I
of the
mean,
doors.
I think if you're stuck as a keystone for, whoever knows how long,
Fucking long, yeah.
because I think they said when Soda turned into a keystone, he'd be in there for like decades or centuries or something
Yeah.
like that. So I think if you're frozen in time like that, if you get unfrozen, you're gonna want to do some shit.
Hell yeah. Hold on, bro. You're telling me you're gonna stick me in the fucking ground for centuries or decades, and you expect me to just be cool with humanity after that?
Yeah.
Nah, bitch. I'm opening those fucking doors and I'm gonna let this shit ring. You know what I'm saying? Earthquake on earthquake.
Well, they are
On
gods,
me.
right? So it's kind of like that's what they're supposed to be doing, right?
They supposed to be causing chaos.
Yeah, they're supposed to be paying for humanity's sins. That's what they're supposed to be doing.
I don't know about all that.
I'll say it.
You're
Wired
telling
said it.
me
I put that on the books. You could quote me.
you're telling me if you turned into a god, you'd be paying for humanity's sins?
If I were a god, see, but I'm a different story. I'd be making people pay for
Nah.
their sins. I'd be going around
That's what I'm saying.
causing fucking every apocalypse known to man. I'd be wiping out countries by the
You remember
dozens.
you remember when you stole that piece of candy?
I
There goes your
do.
fucking hand.
Wired remembers. Now
Damn
your
right.
now your whole fucking family and future generations will no longer have their right hand.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. I'm
I
sorry.
can barely hear it.
Oh, awesome. Fuck.
You listen to the
But yeah.
recording and it's just like
Right. That goes in shit.
got a bunch of reverb on it. You're in a tunnel.
Sounds like a sonic boom. But
So,
yeah. So I guess Daijin is guiding them. But I feel like this fucker did open one of the doors and he's just playing both sides.
I mean,
And
that
I
could be
can't blame
true,
him.
yeah.
But yeah, so he guides them to the middle school in a way, which I just don't get how he knew social media was a thing, but we'll just say he's a god and he knows that stuff, right?
Right.
So Daijin guides them to the door and they close it. Suzume successfully closes it. She locks that bitch. And I think that's when
It
she
kind
goes
of,
back and sees Chica.
yeah, it kind of cuts to her and Chica, and I guess her parents own an inn, right? Or just a diner.
Some shit.
Basically, Suzume crashes there, but like helps around the house. Which me
Right.
personally, I'd be like, hey, I'm a guest. Come on. But
Treat me right.
this is Japan, right?
Yeah, this is Japan. Well, me personally, I actually help out around the places that I stay at from past experiences. But that's
Um,
just because I don't like people cleaning up after me. Because it makes me feel like a little bitch.
Look, if you invite me over and invite me to spend the night,
I'm not washing your fucking
I'm
dishes.
just a guest.
Like I said, I ain't washing your fucking dishes. You can eat off the goddamn floor for all I care if you
Now,
ain't
who's gonna
washing your
clean the
dishes.
floor? Not me.
Who gonna let you in the house? Not me. I said it.
You say that like I didn't make a spare key.
You say that like I did change the lock. Anyways, yeah, so Suzume
Is
helps
crashing
them out.
at, yeah, so she ends up crashing at Chica's house, and they start talking about boys, and I didn't really care about that whole part, right? Because like,
I didn't, but it sounded to me
who
like Chica got digged down.
it kind of
That's all
sounds
I'm
like
saying.
Chica's a little, a little slut.
Yeah, yeah, little thotty.
Yeah, 'cause it kind of seems like she's got all these experiences with these boys. You know,
Which shit, she's out in the sticks. I can't blame her.
yeah. What else are you supposed to do in the country?
Not suck dick.
Not get ran on? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. So,
Oh, girl's looking like a conductor with all the trains she's running. I Just,
Yeah.
she's probably not even like a
Yeah, she's
whore,
not.
but
We're just making her seem like one.
nah, she is though. Let's be real.
She gotta be.
She's gotta be, bro. She's already working. Like, there's a reason. Homegirl's pregnant. They're just making a whole story for her. She probably has a kid.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So here's what bothered me. So they're talking about the boys or whatever, and then they go to sleep, right? And then the next day when they leave, Suzume's bitch ass starts crying after she says goodbye.
Maybe
Do you remember
she
that?
gets very like. Maybe she's
Attached,
yeah, very overly attached, right? I
clingy
mean,
person.
I think when your mom kind of just dies out of nowhere, you kind of get some attachment issues.
That's the best kind of girl for real.
So it's
That
like,
sounds like she's my kind of girl.
no, I was watching. I was like, Tamaki would be so like would have Bozo 100%. Like, she seems like bitchy towards people.
I love it.
I was like, yo, that'd be his type of girl right there.
When she was arguing with Suzume over the phone, and then she looked at the guy, she's like, "I saw on your face." I was like, "Yes, mommy,
Yeah,
like talk to me."
I already knew you were about to be about it.
Ah, she's the kind of girl you want to break, type shit, mentally, not physically. I
No,
mean that
both.
too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'd be both.
Anyways,
So yeah. So
yeah.
anyways,
So
they
they go to Tokyo.
yeah.
Is it Tokyo that they go to this time? Yeah, yeah. Wait, is it?
No, they hit
Or are
four
they making their
places.
way?
They hit four places because they start crossing this bridge, and God, I cannot remember where they're supposed to be going. It was like another place right before Tokyo, and they're gonna catch a bus, but it was gonna take 6 hours, right,
They took the
for the
bullet
next
train,
bus.
homie.
No, that was when they're
Oh no,
because
no.
they met another lady. She picked her up, and she had her two kids in the back,
Roomy.
and they were going to the same place, the same town.
Yeah, yeah. So she got trapped under the bus stop because it was raining. And that's when Rumi rolled up and she's like, "Hey, yo, where you headed?" And Suzume's like, "I don't know, bitch, Tokyo." And she's like, "Hop in."
See, but
And
she wasn't going to Tokyo then.
oh, I don't know where the fuck
They
she
were
was
going
going.
to another place just before Tokyo.
Okay, she's like, "Bitch, I don't know, somewhere."
And
And
she's
then
like,
Rumi said,
shit, me
"Get in the
too.
car, little thotty."
Did you
And
notice?
so,
I don't know. Okay, so they went to there's a McDonald's in the
yeah, I
movie.
noticed.
Did you see after the movie that there's a commercial with Suzume movie and McDonald's?
No, I did
I
not.
watched it and it's basically like Suzume and her mom as a kid, or Suzume is a kid with her mom and they're at McDonald's, and she's like, "I want a Big Mac," right? I was like, "Oh, damn, okay." So this movie
Yeah, no,
must have
I
been
might have to go
popular
get some.
there.
Now I might have to go get some McDonald's because I kind of want a Big Mac. Damn.
Oh, damn. How many Big Macs you
But
getting?
I don't know, probably like a Big Mac, double quarter pounder, two hot spicies,
Oh, yeah.
maybe a McFlurry.
Oh, if their ice cream
But-
machine ain't broke.
yeah, for real. But yeah, so she gets in the car with Rumi, Suzume, and Soda, the chair,
Yep.
and she put Soda in a bag, like the disrespect, bro. But anyways, bro, these little fucking shit stains of some kids were going through her shit. Like I cannot, bro. Me as a kid, I would not be doing that.
Oh, yeah, that's
This
because
lady
we're Mexican. Our moms would, you know.
beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Nah, our moms taught us right. Is all I'm hearing. Minding our damn business.
Yeah.
This lady and her kids, she needs to teach her kids some fucking manners, bro.
God,
Me, I don't care if they're little kids.
preach. Keep preaching.
Because if it was me doing that shit, my mom would have turned around and been like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Well, maybe not like as intense, but she would be like, "Don't be doing that," and I would have started crying like a little bitch because I know mom. You know what I
They'd give
mean?
you that stare like, just wait till this car fucking
I
stops.
know.
Wait till we get where we're going. I'm better let you have it.
And then she stops the car suddenly, and you're like, "Oh no!" And that's when you start screaming.
Hey, but once she starts screaming, they're like, "You better stop, or I'm gonna
You
give
better
you a
shut up.
reason.
Yeah.
I'm about to give you a reason. You better stop that right now."
You better stop crying. Or I'm gonna give you a reason to cry. Type shit.
Yup. Then you're sitting there hyperventilating, trying to stop crying, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna count to 10. I'm gonna count to 5. If you don't stop, that's it."
Whoop your ass, little boy. I'm sorry.
I can't stop crying. You better stop. You
I
better
can't
stop
breathe.
it. It sounds like this just sounds like a whole bunch of trauma right now. Oh shit. That's all it sounded like.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault her kids were fucking disrespectful, bro. I mean, yeah, she turned around and told them to stop messing with her, but bro, they did not listen to her.
That I
That's the
think
thing.
once I turned around and saw them putting their drinks and food and dropping food all over it, I would have been like, I'm gonna just walk. I can't be having that.
Bro, because that's the chair that her mom left her. That's
Yeah.
like a memento. Her mom made that fucking chair for her. Like, she's had that since she was a child, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
Like, no mames, bro.
I couldn't.
Like, you get. Nah, dude. Like, you're not gonna be treating my mom. The gift that my mom gave me as a child
I
before
be
she
putting some
died
hands on kids. That's all I'm
on
saying.
me, bro. And I'd look at her and I'd be like, this is my fucking car now. Get out the fucking car
Hey, yeah,
before I
kick her
put my
ass
hands on
out.
you, too.
Yeah. You put your hands on her anyways.
Hell yeah. I mean, she's mid, actually. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. She was like
She,
she just seemed like a middle-aged mom. Like there wasn't
yeah.
much to her. So they get to
I'd still hit, though.
her babysitter cancels, and she basically tells Suzume, "Yeah, this is you're gonna do this for me."
Like, what?
Like, all right, okay. You ain't gonna, what if I got some, like, what, how do you know I'm not going to a funeral or something? Something important.
Right.
Like,
She's like, bitch, you weren't saying all that when I got you McDonald's.
for real. And so she ends up watching the kids, and that's kind of where they see the Daijin again later on. So Suzume has to help her with the bar.
Well, okay, so in those scenes, what I really enjoyed was when Suzume was struggling to take care of the kids, right? Because those fucking things were like little monkeys, bro.
Yeah, they
Like
were.
actually, like actual shit stains. And then jumps in and he's like, "Oh, I'm walking chair, whatever." He's not talking right, but he's like trying to help out Suzume, and they're like, "Oh God, this chair walks by
Yeah,
itself."
she's like, oh yeah, it's a robot. So they fall for it because they're little dumbasses. And they sit on him, and he starts walking. And Suzume's like, I want to ride because I guess she gets caught up in the fun, right? And shit,
I mean, like, come on, that's
I'd have
kind of
been
cool.
like, nah, me. When she said I want to sit down too, I'd have been like, all right, hey girl, come sit on me, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's gonna stop you? I ain't.
Come sit on my face.
Yeah, like,
Soda's a freak for real, bro.
bruh. And
But he said
then,
no because he's a little bitch.
yep, and
Anyways.
that's when the kids were like, oh, I can talk too, and she's like, yep, there's AI in it. All right.
And bro, they start asking some complicated
What's
questions.
the
Like,
one of my favorite ones from the kids was, "Are the stocks up today?"
yeah,
I
that's
was
what I
like,
was.
"What? This little boy definitely ain't got no stocks, first of all. And why is he asking that question?
Where did you hear that from?
Like, why?" So that happens.
And
Suzume ends up going downstairs, and it's a bar that they have in
right,
Japan where they, drink and do
it's like a
karaoke.
host club type shit. Yeah,
Yeah. And
it's
Suzume ends up doing like all the little chores, right? Like getting cups, getting the alcohol, doing the
washing the
dishes.
plates.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
then that's when she sees the Daijin. She
and
leaves.
I feel like the people thought Daijin was a person
I think so
from the way they were
because,
treating him.
yeah, because they said, "Oh, he's a big spender." And they're like, "Oh
Right.
yeah, he's new. He's a first timer here." So he doesn't talk, he's very quiet. Which I don't know why he
Which,
just didn't talk, right? Like
yeah, it would have been cool if they showed us like what they were seeing.
that's what I
That,
was hoping too.
but we're
But
looking at it through the lenses of a goddamn, I don't know, psychic or whatever, I
through a
guess.
closer.
Yeah. So Daijin takes off and
Suzume runs after him. Sota looks out the window and she's like, "The Daijin's down there, right?"
I
They
don't think Sota looked out the window. I think she was like, "The Daishin's here," and Sota was on fucking like
he was
call,
on
right?
it.
He was ready, bro. He
Yeah,
jumped out that window or some shit, and they both start chasing after this little fucking shit.
they
And
end up
that's when
at
they get to
this abandoned like carnival, right? There's a Ferris
amusement park,
wheel. Yeah,
and
and the door is a cart on the Ferris wheel.
yeah,
They turn on the power. I'm thinking, why the fuck is power still active at this abandoned
yeah, that
amusement
seems
park?
dangerous.
Yeah, like anybody could just go there, flip a switch, and ride the Ferris wheel if they wanted. That's what I'd
And
be
fall to
doing.
their death,
That's what I'd be doing.
sue the city.
Nah, they'd probably be like, "Oh, it's your own fault." I don't know.
Last time I checked, there wasn't any signs that said I couldn't be here.
Yeah,
After
because
you like got rid of the sign.
yeah,
That's what I do. Me personally, like if I saw that shit, power was still running, I'd get rid of the sign and be like, last time I checked, there was no sign there. They're gonna
yeah,
go, they're gonna check. Oh my god, we're so sorry. There was no sign here. Yeah, give me money. That'll make me feel a bit forgiven. Some money.
right.
But
So
yeah, so they tried
Suzu
closing this door.
only Suzume because Sota is chasing the Daijin, but
Sota's banging with Daijin. He's like, "Come here, you little bitch!" Bro, he has this dude like on the ground,
yeah,
like
he's
just
like
like
choking
choking
him
his ass.
out. And that's when he sees Suzume and she's like walking into the cart because what she sees is the ever after, and she sees what we think at the time is her mom and her younger self.
Yeah,
So she starts walking into it.
which, man, that complicates the story too, bro. Like the story gets so complicated.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking at the end of it.
It's like, what the
And
fuck?
yeah, I was like, so
But
is this just gonna repeat again,
right, right, right.
or is it one of
Who
those things
knows?
where like if you close all the doors, like that's it? Because
Timelines go back to one timeline type shit.
yeah, because then both of the keystones are in there, which we'll get to
Right,
that
but
later.
it's just it's so confusing. But yeah, she starts seeing the ever after like you're just saying. But the issue is the so because it's a rundown amusement park or carnival, the Ferris wheel, the glass that's like surrounding the Ferris wheel to keep people inside, uh the big ass panels broke, right? So like she's walking to the ever after, but this bitch doesn't know is that if she keeps walking forward, she's gonna fall out the fucking window, probably land on her head and die. And Soda's trying to tell her like, "Hey, bitch, snap out of it. You're about to kill yourself on accident." And then I don't know. I think he ends up getting to her, right? Like he ends up
Yeah,
doing some
he
parkour or
runs
some
to
shit.
her and basically saves her, and they close the door. Right.
Somehow,
So
somewhere.
that's the third
Door.
door that they closed. So
To
the
get married.
Daijin
At
gets
this point, they might
away.
as well get married.
Yeah, at this point, really. At this point, now they head to Tokyo. Or they go back to the what was her name? Rumi?
Roomy?
They go back there. She ends up making food, and then the next day they leave.
They're like, later, bitch.
Yeah,
Thanks for
they
thanks for letting
leave.
me stay here.
They hop on the bullet train, and then they head to Tokyo, and that's
He
where the
didn't cry at the
final
Roomy
gate
though.
is. Shit, she probably happy to get away from them little shithead kids.
Oh me. And honestly, that place was not the place to be.
I mean,
Like I would be so uncomfortable.
she looked like a single mom too with two kids. So
You know
that's
she's
all
throwing
I'm
it
saying.
back for them customers. that are paying high. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, hell
Oh,
yeah.
I don't really think I want to be coming here anymore. Oh, but I really rely on everything they spend. Oh, really? Well, how about you rely on this dick?
Let them know. Let them know.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be allowed to make a lot of money. Oh man, I
Uh,
swear I'm actually a really genuinely nice person.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you think that, and if you don't think that, I'll gaslight you into thinking that. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Anyways, they take the
Uh,
train, and this bitch has to pay for the train. Luckily, it's only for one person.
yeah. And that's when she tells Soldo, you better be fucking paying me back because I'm almost out of my savings.
Right? Like me personally, I ain't paying shit back.
Yeah, I know. I'd
Like,
be
bitch,
like,
I told you to go home.
yeah, yeah, I got you 100%. Yeah, I got you for sure. I know where you
Suzume
stay at.
who?
Yeah, I would have up and moved out of Tokyo.
Yeah.
I would have gone
Hell
I
yeah.
would have gone as far north as possible.
Yeah, for real, huh? Would have gone to one of those little islands that nobody knows about.
That's me just being safe, you know. So they get to Tokyo and they end up looking for the last door.
Not the last door, but the last door in the movie type shit.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. And they don't know where it's at. They go by Sota's apartment, I guess, to try and see if it's written down in these books he has. And it's
And
not.
this bitch steps on him.
She can step on me too.
Honestly, wouldn't it have been wild? Now, hear me out, because my mind goes everywhere. Wouldn't it be wild if he got cucked in front of his friend when he showed up? Or if what was it? Yeah, if his friend cucked him while he was there as a chair? Would that not have been wild?
Oh man, that would have been crazy if that happened. What do you
I'd be
do?
like, he.
What do you even do
Shit.
at that point?
If I'm his friend, I hit it. If I'm not his friend, I hit it.
I hate it anyway.
Hell yeah, what you mean? What you doing at my friend's house?
For
I don't know
real.
you. I think I might need to call the police. Oh my god. If I could only keep digging deeper.
So, all right. So they end up leaving, right?
After
They,
meeting Tomoya, his friend,
yeah. What his name was?
Tomoya.
Was it?
Yeah, and so keep in mind while
Oh,
all
I don't
this is
have his
happening,
friend in here. In my little.
yes, Tomoya. But keep in mind, while all this is happening, her aunt is like trying to get a hold of her. She's like,
Yeah.
"Bitch, you fucking, how dare you? Like, where are you? You better not be with the boy," type shit. Like, she's still freaking out. And like, what was it when I believe she was with Rumi, or was it
Oh
Chica? One
my
of the two.
god.
She sent her a whole ass fucking book worth of text.
Yeah,
I
she
was like,
sent
damn.
fucking paragraphs. Me personally wouldn't read that.
Hell no. I already know I fucked up. I don't even need to read it. You know
Yeah,
what I
at
mean?
that
Like I
point, I'm
fucked.
not even reading nothing. I'm not replying to nothing. I'm
I'm too
already
scared.
screwed. So I'll just, deal with it whenever I get back.
Yup. I'll ride the wave when it rolls up type
Because
shit.
I already know once I get back, I'm dead, right?
Right,
That's
like
it.
my ass is getting chewed out at the
Yup.
least. And so, what is it? Suzume and Sota try finding the door that's in Tokyo because who was it? I think it was Soda that said, "Yeah, the one in Tokyo is actually really important, like this specific door." Which I don't know how they knew that this door is important. Oh no, so they said, so he said, "I think the door that's gonna be next is like the main door here in Tokyo, like the really important one." And so they were trying to find it, and it ended up being like underground,
Yeah, it was like
which
in an
honestly
abandoned train station. That's what it kind of looked like. Because whenever she got out of it, it was like just a train station.
Yeah,
No,
but
it
when
was
she,
like a door inside of the tunnel to the train station.
yeah, it honestly didn't even make sense because it looked like a door that you would walk through to get into a palace.
Yeah,
So I don't know what kind of fucking who sets up the infrastructure there, but they might want to change that door eventually. So
yeah, at
yeah,
some
they end
point.
up getting to the door after this. So they get to the door. No, no, no. Okay.
The worm is
So they
already
find the
breaking out.
door. Yeah, so that's the only reason they find the door was because the worm was already breaking out. And it was already too late because Saw Daijin, the other god that they had trapped in the other side with that fucking worm, just throwing hands for eternity, is what I'm gonna assume, got released. So the worm got released as well. And this is what me and Wired were arguing about. But for now, we'll just say shit was gonna get real bad if they didn't get the worm
Yeah,
back. And so, yeah, the worm escapes and it turns into like this weird
kind of looked like.
geometry pattern. It was weird.
Yeah, you said. Why did you say
Like this
that? Why did you say that like that?
what?
Sounded like you said pattern.
Pattern?
Yeah, but it sounded like you said pattern, like
Pattern.
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 Yeah, that's what it sounded like you said. That's just like, huh?
It's all good, my young pattern.
Look,
Sorry, Star Wars.
so so this thing is coming out,
Yeah, he's
and
coming out.
so.
Yes.
All right, that's the end of the episode. That's it. That's the ending. I can't believe you said that. Oh, jeez.
It's
I'm
fully out already.
I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that. So the worm is coming out, and Sota jumps on his back. Well, Suzume's like, shit.
He does.
She's like, shit. I can't let my daddy go without me, so she jumps too. Which me personally, I ain't doing that.
I
I
didn't
ain't
get
doing
paid to
that.
do all that.
Yeah. So they get up there, and she's trying to tell the Daijin like, "Oh, turn Sota back into a human, and you just go back to the Keystone." He's like, "Well, I ain't the Keystone no more." He is
Right.
talking about Sota.
It's already too late. I already swapped his ass.
Yep.
I
She's
tagged him
like,
in.
"Yeah," and he's like, if you want to save everything, you got to put the Keystone. You got to stab him into the worm,
Right.
basically. So she does that. She starts the worm disappears, goes back into its door, and she
And she's
falls.
free falling.
Yeah, and the Daijin, he like jumps on it and then turns into
He goes
he,
into like his actual form.
yeah, his big cat form.
His like battle form, I guess,
Yeah,
huh?
and like protects her while they fall in water. And somehow she ends up waking up in the abandoned place.
Where the door is.
Yeah, so she sees them. They close the door, and she's like, "Well, I ain't gonna give up on him. I gotta go save him." He ain't even smashed yet. She's already obsessed. That's all I'm saying.
He just let me for real. No, but Daijin rolls up, and this kind of made me feel like sad, cause bro, she starts squeezing him, and he's telling her like you're hurting me, but she doesn't stop, and I was like, damn, like
I was like, she
hold
better
on,
kill this cat.
yeah, like dude, cause like if he was evil, first off, he ain't about to let no bitch hurt him like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, dude, I don't think he was evil. I think he was just a shit stain, and
Oh,
so like he's like you're
definitely.
hurting me. I thought you don't love me. She's like, no, bitch, I don't love you.
I hate
You got
you.
me fucked up.
She's like, I don't want to see you again. And he gets all like shrivelly and old,
He
like
turns depressed.
frail.
I think maybe like depending on his emotions, his shit changes.
That's what it
Right?
seemed like.
Like his happiness level or whatever.
Yeah.
Because after that he's just like, all right, bitch. Like if you're done with me, I'm done with you, right? So he just kind of shrinks away. But he ain't done with her. Cause his ass is obsessed with her for some weird reason. He's the third wheel, bruh, in this love triangle.
Yeah, it's kind of
Soda's
weird.
Soda's chasing Daijin, Daijin's chasing Suzume, and Suzume's chasing Soda. God,
God, just
I
shit
feel
show.
bad for Daijin.
Yeah, right. He's getting choked out. He almost got crushed in someone's hands.
Well, I mean, getting choked out ain't too bad.
That's not what I'm saying. You know, if it was choking out, that'd be different. But getting crushed,
Yeah,
nah,
that's an issue.
that's a problem. And
He's just out here trying to live his best life after being trapped in the same place for fucking decades.
for real, you gotta feel bad for him.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's fucked up what they did to these fucking gods, I guess is what they call them.
Yeah,
But,
and
yeah, she's
so
like, there has to be a way to
she
go
goes to
and save
see
Soda,
Sota's grandpa,
Grandpa.
who we'll just call him Munakata because I'm not gonna pronounce that name. And he's like, "Oh, why do you want to go get him? You should just go back and forget this ever happened." She's like, "Shit, bitch, I love him. I ain't gonna leave him. That's my man's." And
So cringe.
he's like, "All right." Basically, just tells her, "You got to go find the door that you went into when you were little. Right? That's how you'll be able to get him."
I bet you this old ass man probably thought they've known each other for a while, though.
Yeah, if he
Imagine she
knew,
told him.
I've only known him for less than a week, maybe a week.
He'd probably be like, "That's my grandson."
Man, he risen him up.
He
He
just like
raised
me
him
for
up just
real.
like me.
Just like I did to his grandma. Yeah.
For
And her
real.
sister. And okay, so honestly, when I saw the grandpa, I was like, oh, maybe that's who she saw when she was a kid because of the hair, right? But later we find out that it wasn't him.
I thought it was her
Uh,
mom that she saw.
I thought it was just like a sage or some shit, right? Like some random magician. But later I
Right.
thought it was the grandpa. I never thought it was the mom. And
I
so
did.
what is it? The who was it? The
Tom
cat Daijin rolls up. I think it's either
it
Daijin or
was
Sa Daijin.
it was
It was
definitely
one of the two.
Sadaijin. I think it was
You think so?
Sadaijin, yeah, because he was
He
like
looked a bit eviler,
it
huh?
looked bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
It
like
also looked a bit more like sketched. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like this
Like he
thing
got
didn't seem
electrocuted.
as nice as Daijin.
Yeah, well, Daijin, I don't know. He was like this small white cat, and then Sa Daijin, just to describe him as this big black cat.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think Sa Daijin seemed nicer. But like, hey, if you think he seemed meaner based off his appearance, go for it.
I didn't say that. I didn't say nothing about
That's
him.
huh?
I didn't say nothing about Sadaijin.
No, it's literally what you just said.
I didn't say anything. I just said he
Sound
was
kind of
bigger.
racist.
But if you want to go ahead and say he was meaner, hey man,
You're not about to turn this on me.
that's what you said.
Anyways,
Your
they go
words.
on this. So Soda and Suzume start going on to the where is it? They try finding,
They start
which
going
honestly
to
doesn't even make sense. Oh,
Suzume's hometown, like her home village
where she
before.
crossed to
Yeah,
the ever after. And so this is where they run into Tomoke or whatever the hell his name is
They
again.
run into
Tomoya
Tomoya and
and
then
Tamaki.
Tamaki, and she's like, Tamaki says, "Suzume, you ain't going." Suzume said, "You can't tell me what to do. It's something I gotta do. You know how it is, Auntie." And I was kind of like, "All right, Suzume, let her fucking know what's good." So
Nah,
she hops in Tomoya's convertible. Which
Tomoya's looking like a fucking pimp right now,
yeah,
by the
he's
way.
people were passing by and they're like, "What a two timer!" Like, God, men are trash. And I was like, "All right,
Bitch! That's
what are
what
you
I
talking
like.
about?"
Right, right. Like, hold on,
I was
bitch.
like, first off, some of us wouldn't get caught. That's amateur hour.
Second off, are we the trash or the women we're playing trash? You tell me. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
God,
because
bitches, man.
from what I know, two of them don't have cars and one of them does. So who's really the
Yeah,
trash?
exactly. The last time I checked, the man ain't the one yelling.
Yeah, he was chilling. He was Tomoyo
Exactly.
was just vibing the whole time.
He was just catching strays for no reason.
Yeah. So Suzume hops in the car, and Tamaki was
And
like, "All right, well I can't let her go by herself. I'm gonna go too." So now they got to drive 7 hours to where she used to live.
and honestly, if I was Tomy, I'd be risen up Tamaki. On me.
Yeah, I would have
But
been, but she seemed like not in the mood. So it kind of seemed like the Riz would just not be there.
nah, nah.
I'd
The
stay
moment she
risen.
rolled up crying to me,
Oh yeah, all right. I hated that part because I was like, bro is just trying to have a good time, play his crane game, and enjoy his ice cream. This bitch doesn't walk up to him, crying, making a scene, and his not on top, and on top of that, his ice cream fell.
because of her, by the way.
I was mad. I was like, "Are you serious? My boy Tomoyo can't enjoy nothing."
Because of you. But
God,
okay, so like yeah, they're driving. So she gets in the car with them and they start driving, right? And like halfway through the drive, it starts raining. And
I,
so
she's like,
Tamaki's like,
don't the roof come up?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." He goes,
it's a convertible.
he clicks the button, the roof starts coming up. It gets almost there, and it just
Halfway.
stops.
He's like, yeah,
He's
it's
like,
broken.
still broken. I liked when after that, and they're back on the road, and then they're arguing. No, the Sadaijin is with them now,
No,
and
hold on. We gotta go over what happens at the parking lot
all right, you go over it.
because that was pretty. I feel like that was like a pretty like fucked up thing. So, and I think it was Sadaijin's fault.
It was because he was like controlling her.
So, like he said, he's like, "Oh, it's still not working." It's so stupid. Like he already knew it wasn't gonna work. He was just, he was hoping, like living on a prayer. There, he's like,
Yeah,
"Please." So they go into like this truck stop or rest stop, right? And they're like just trying to figure out like what they're gonna do for the time being while it's raining. And who is it? Suzume is in the car, and Tamaki rolls out into the car, and she's like, "Hey, are you hungry? This and that. Like, are you gonna eat?" And that's kind of where it starts popping off because the Daijin rolls up, but Suzume doesn't realize it until like after Tamaki starts essentially going in on her. She's like, "Bitch, I gave you like 10 or 12 years, whichever one she said." She's like, 10 or 12 years of my life. I couldn't even bring back a man to dick me down, basically, is what she was saying, because I have a fucking child with me. I might as well be a mom. And this is the way you treat me? And Suzume was like, "Who the fuck are you, right?" But she wasn't really talking to Tamaki. She was talking to the bitch that was behind Tamaki, so Daijin. And so the Daijin, the white cat, was on smoke. He's like, "Bitch, we're about to throw hands." Homeboy leaps in and bites a Daijin on his nose, and they start throwing hands, and then Tamaki faints. And so that's when, they get introduced to Sadaijin, which Sadaijin, I feel like, seemed like an older brother to Daijin or some shit, like, just based
I
off of the
thought
looks,
I
right?
thought Sadaijin killed Daijin because he like bit his ass in the neck. I was like, oh, he dead. All right.
He was, but I feel like, I don't know, or maybe like parent, like Sadaijin was a parent or something because of the way he was carrying Daijin, right? It looked like the way a
Maybe.
mother cat carries her kittens. And so that's where we were
Or the
saying
way
like
I
Tamaki
carry my
rolled up.
kittens.
Anyways, so that's where Tamaki ends up going to tell me. Like, "Oh, I can't believe I said that." It's like, bruh, I just met you today. Like, don't be involving me in your fucking family's
And the whole
business.
time, Tomoya's like, man, your family's got issues.
Oh, me, but like it kind of bad, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
he kept
Y'all
playing.
are kind of bad.
He's like, I'm just playing music that matches the vibe. And
I
it was
know,
like,
bro. What a
oh,
troll. I
sad.
hate when people do that shit. Y'all should make this and that. I was like, bro. Because I know my friend used to do that shit. Like whenever the squad was together and we'd start arguing, he'd play some stupid shit like that, bro.
Why
So
can't
fucking
we
annoying.
be friends?
Yeah, bro. It's like I'm about to
I
punch you in your fucking face. That's why we can't
better
be friends.
punch your ass in the back of the head and turn into a paraplegic if you don't stop that shit right now.
Yeah, but so they end up rolling in the car right afterwards, after all that drama and shit. And honestly, all that just seems so pointless. By the
It
way,
was.
like
Didn't need to be in there.
not at all. Maybe the introduction to Sadaijin, but aside from that, nothing else. And so, Daij or Tomi was like, "So these cats are hanging out with you because they want something from you." And so Daijin was like, "Precisely, like you're right, little bitch." And they both turned around. Who was it?
Tamaki and
Tamaki and
Tomoyo.
Tomoya turned around. They're like, "Oh shit, he does talk,
That
right?"
cat
Because
just talked.
earlier when they were initially getting into the car, right after Tamaki ran into Suzume, Daijin told them both. They're like, "Hey, can y'all both shut up? Like y'all are being annoying, right?" And so who was it? Tamaki and Tomoya both looked at Daijin and they just kind of freaked out. Like, did that cat just talk? And they're like, "Nah." So they just kept going, right? But then so Daijin said that shit, and they're like, "Okay, these cats do fucking talk. Like, there's something bigger going on around here." And that's when they almost crash into a damn truck
I almost got
because Tomoya's
isekai.
bitch ass.
They
But I'm assuming this
crash.
is where you might want to take over.
So they crash. And this is the part I liked. The fucking convertible top closed.
Honestly, you would think that at that point, if it's like that, he obviously didn't even try to fix it. If all it took was a bump, because like it's not like they fucking plowed right into the ground, bro. Like nah, dude, they just flew off the road.
Yeah, into a
All he,
ditch.
all he probably had to do was smack it one time and it'd probably move. It was probably just rusty, dude. That's all
Yeah,
it was.
probably just needed to throw some WD-40 on it.
Oh me, what an idiot, man.
God,
I swear and you know what the sad thing is? That's probably why he got it for cheap too.
probably.
And so every idiot that before him that had that same issue didn't put any WD-40 or even attempt to push it down. Like that's wild, bro. Yeah, but the top, the what is it? The convertible top got fixed, but when he opened his fucking driver door, that shit flew off.
I just straight fell to the floor.
Yep.
I was like, bro, ain't no way. Ain't no way that didn't happen.
He's down on his luck for some weird reason.
Yeah. So then,
Because we assumed he was rich. That was the thing.
oh yeah, because he
I
was
assumed he
like,
was
oh,
rich.
Sota owes me 20,000.
Right, and then he was also driving in that car, and the way he presented himself, he just seemed like he came from wealth.
Yeah.
Nah, he's broke, bro.
Yeah. So
He
then
screams.
Suzume, he screams
He
what?
screams broke. Like, what is it? I don't know. Like those people that stay broke because they want to buy like name brand clothing.
I know what you're talking about.
Part time worker vibes.
Yeah. So Suzume is like, fuck yeah, how far is it? I'll just walk the rest of the way. So it was like
20
2 kilometers or
kilometers.
some shit like that.
20.
Some shit like that. I don't know. It was far. My ass wouldn't
Yeah,
have walked
far
it,
as
that's for
fuck.
sure.
Hell no.
And so
If
she
I was
starts
Suzume, I would have
walking,
been. If
and
I was Suzume, I would have been throwing my ass back to get a fucking lift off of me.
you'd be throwing your ass back anyways.
Shit, if I'm bad enough.
That's what I'm saying. So
If I was a
Suzume
bad bitch,
start.
I'd be a total whore.
Oh, bruh.
You're telling me you wouldn't be?
No, but I would definitely start an OnlyFans. Be making some money.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'd be everywhere.
And nowhere.
Yo, so Suzume, she starts walking, then Tamaki is like, I can't just let her go. So she finds this rusty ass bike, which I'm surprised still works. I
Yeah.
was like, how's the chain not all fucked up on it?
How did nobody come grab this?
Yeah. So she starts going, and then it shows Tamaki and Suzume and the two cats. They're pedaling to her hometown. And she's like, oh, I know you didn't mean those things. And she's like, at some point I did, but basically, like, I've also felt a lot more, right? essentially
Like those are the
making it
only
up.
feelings I've had towards you.
Yeah. And then they get to Suzume's like home, and it's just the fucking foundation, or
She
lack
also
of
asks,
foundation.
she's like, so these cats, they're like gods or something, right? And she, right, because she wanted to know more
And she's
about the
like, "What are
cats,
these cats?" She's like, "Oh, they're gods or something like that." She was just
something like
like,
that,
"Okay,
right?
all
Because
right."
like, what can you do? Like, fuck. All
If
right.
they got some fucking money, cause these legs ain't working for free. Been around for centuries. They must got a little bit of change.
Oh me, fucking useless.
For real.
I feel like realistically, that's how gods would be, because they wouldn't have like, I don't know. I feel like
Bro, just
they
spawn
would
in
be
some money. What do you mean?
right, but like, do they have like that understanding of like, oh yeah, they use money, they use this money now? Because like, dude turned somebody into a chair, okay? Like he don't care. So he could have done spawned in a car if he wanted to, but he didn't. Honestly, these gods are just making things more difficult than they had to be.
Yeah. Doesn't every god? Anyways, so they get to Suzume's old home, and she starts digging, and she finds like, I guess, a time capsule. And it says
Yeah.
Suzume's important stuff, and she finds her diary from back then. Rihanna's like, "What are we looking for?" She goes, "I'm looking for a motherfucking door, bitch. Like, I thought I told you about this already."
Right. My thing
And,
was
huh.
when she was reading the diary, right? I wonder what she blacked out because the door was there and everything. So what was before the door that she blacked out?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
That's what was kind of confusing me.
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
It didn't make any sense, that part.
I might just be too dumb though. It was probably something obvious.
Uh,
Maybe it was to signify the tsunami
oh, maybe.
that came in crashing waves,
Yeah, maybe,
erasing
right?
all her
Because she
memories.
went into the door, and she draws the door, and then she draws her mom, the chair, and her. Or that we think is her
Oh,
mom. Anyway, so she finds this door because of Daijin. And that's when she's like, "Oh, you're just trying to lead us to the doors that need closing," or some shit like that. So she walks in and she sees Sota, and that's when Sadaijin transforms into this big ass, like, lion, right? Tiger.
yeah, because the damn worm's trying to escape again.
Yeah,
Fucking worm's acting up.
bro, we gotta put that bitch on a leash or something.
On me.
So there, Sadaijin and the worm is fighting, and Sota is on, like, it looks like a little hill, right?
Yeah, which honestly, I don't even get it anymore because this fool got stabbed into the worm, but the worm's trying to escape again. How does that even? So they didn't seal him, and then on top of that, I feel bad for Daijin because so Daijin rolls up, starts beating the fuck out of the worm, and Daijin's bitch ass turns into a small cat and hits the fucking ground, trying to keep Suzume from hitting the ground because they were free falling
Oh
from like
yeah.
at least 2,000 feet in the air. Like, bro, if Daijin was not a god, he would have fucking died
He would have been
on
dead.
me because that shit looked like it hurt. He even acted like that shit hurt too.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
did.
fuck.
And
She's like, "Are you good?" He's
all
like,
he
"Fuck,
asked,
dude."
all he asked was, "Are you okay, Suzume?" I'd have been like, "Hell no, I ain't all right, bitch." Like, damn, you see how high we just fell? And then on top of that, you just landed further into me as I fell. Like, that shit hurt. My
And I
ribs,
swear to
my ribs are bruised right now. Come
man,
on.
I swear to God, bitch, you put your elbow in my solar plexus right before I hit the
Like,
ground.
hell nine, okay.
Bitch just
God.
got elbow dropped from 2,000 feet in the air.
Yeah, how about I elbow drop you? You tell me if you're okay.
Actual body slam, dude. He did not look okay,
He
but he got
wasn't.
up like a champ.
Yeah, yeah, he did. I'd
I
get
would
up.
have been laying there for a
I
fat
I
minute.
don't know. I'd get up too if I were a god, because I'd be like, I can't be having people think I'm a bitch. I gotta get back up, man.
Hell no. I'm laying there making sure I'm okay to get the fuck up. Got me
So
fucked up.
so Suzume and Daijin start running towards Sota, and they're trying to pull him out of the hill.
And
And
did you
sh
notice that so like it was all covered in fire, right? But did you notice that like as they got closer it looked like it was getting colder because
no,
of their breaths and shit?
the breasts.
Yeah, yeah. Like they were breathing out and you could see their breath. And so when they finally touched Soda to pull him out, it was also like freezing him.
Well, yeah.
So I think
Whenever Suzume pulled out Daijin, she was like, "Oh, it's cold."
yeah, so I think there's like an AoE effect going on because like I said, the closer they got to the chair, they were starting to like their breath was what is it, condensating or whatever? You could see it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Hmm, maybe.
maybe. But Suzume was like, I'll replace him as the damn seal, right? When Gaijin was like, well, who's gonna be the seal? And she's like, I'll replace him. I'll be the seal. Honestly, I need a girl like that. Just saying,
To
hit the one
sacrifice
for me
herself
type
for me,
shit. Hell yeah. Oh
so I
me.
can go commit a crime and she take the fall.
Yup.
Yup, I need
And
me a
so
girl like that.
so she starts pulling him out, and like
And
Daijin,
couldn't pull me out.
Daijin, Daijin starts helping her. God, bro, Daijin just got the shit end of the stick, dude. So he starts helping her, and like they successfully pull Soda out, and then they're both like, Soda's like, okay, here's how we get the fuck out of here. You gotta clap your hands or whatever. But before that, what was it? Daijin ended up turning back into like
And
the seal.
Sedation. They turn into the seal, and they're like falling now, right? They're like free falling. Sota has Sedation as the keystone, and Suzume has Daijin as the keystone, and they're like free falling towards the worms. And he's like, "You just gotta trust me." And he's doing the prayer, and she's like, she says the ending of it, and they both stab the worm, right? Which I was like, why
Yeah,
didn't they just do that in the first place?
right.
You know? But
How the
okay,
fuck does that make sense?
it doesn't.
Because why was Daijin outside of the door in the first place?
I don't know. It didn't make
I don't
sense.
know either.
So
Honestly, those two got the shit end of the stick because
yeah,
now they're stuck underneath the whatever. Because they said it was underneath Japan, but then they said it was another dimension. So who fucking knows where this place is? Fucking, they got trapped in there. Now they're fighting this worm for God knows,
how
God knows
long?
how long. And it's not even like it's a good time. Like they're fucking getting tossed around because that fucking worm is huge, dude.
Yeah, the worm is ginormous.
So they
So they stab the worm with the keystones, and they get like thrown
split
out of
it.
the door, right?
No. That's when Sota's like, okay, I know how to get out of here or whatever. And he's like, you just gotta imagine that it's the like the way it used to be or whatever, and then clap your hands or some stupid shit like that. And they do that, and that's when it turns into like the ever after. Right? Which is just so confusing because what's the place that they were just at if it's not the ever after?
Hell,
You get what I mean? Because
I think
I
the
thought that
ever
was also
after
the ever
was
after.
the. I think the ever after is the like.
The nice looking place. Unless they're
It's
both ever
like
after.
that one just seemed like where worms were coming from, but the other one was like more nice.
Yeah. Like heaven and hell type shit. Like you said,
Yeah,
they're in hell. But yeah, so she claps her hand and that's when she sees like off in the hill what she thought was her mom. Or no.
she
No.
noticed
She
it
sees
was
herself as a
her.
kid.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
crying and walking, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta go," and she like leaves Sota, and she runs up to herself, and that's the part where we're both choked up. She was like, I'm looking for my mommy and she's looking for me. She works at the hospital. I just know she's looking for me. I can't find her.
She's
I need help.
she's not she's not gonna know where to find me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I was
that
like,
was funny.
oh,
Oh.
oh, my heart getting choked up and shit. It got me feeling feelings.
And
And that's when she like tries to hug her and she's like, oh, it's okay. And she's like, no, I gotta go find my mommy, and like pushes her away. And that's when Suzume, grown Suzume, sees the chair and she's like, oh, let me give this to her, right? Which was why I thought it was her mom. But only we find out that it's just Suzume talking to younger Suzume.
they're stuck in a time loop for the rest of eternity.
Yeah, which how does that work, right? So like,
Oh, bro. I have no
are
clue.
when they all right, so to fast forward a little bit, she has this whole talk and she's like, oh, you know, it's okay. We both kind of knew at that moment what really happened, and just it'll get better, right? Like the light will turn on someday. They get kicked
Yeah.
out, and it shows Suzume. It shows the four of them: Tomoyo, Tamaki, Sota, and Suzume, and they're at like a train station, right? And
Oh, and by the way, Tomiya earlier when they got in a car crash, he admitted that he was the one that owed Sota money. Just wanted to make that clear.
yeah,
Because I
well,
think
we
I was
all
telling
knew
me he
he
was like,
was.
"You're doing all this for $20,000 or some dumb shit like that, right?"
Yeah, she was
And
like,
he's
"You're
like,
so you're a
"Nah."
loan shark."
Right? And he's like, "Nah, I actually owe him the money."
Yeah,
Which honestly, she probably would have taken off her panties right then and there. I'm just saying.
probably. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Man, you know how it is. Bitches love broke people. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Broke bad boys that look like they have money. God, they love them.
Yeah. So
Anyways, yeah.
Sota he gets on the train. He's like, "I'll go back here and I'll find you, right?" And she's like, "All right." I would have been like, "Shit, let me smash before I leave." Like you gonna throw back on me real quick? Like, what's it good? Right?
Well, she probably would have.
You ain't saved me for nothing.
On me.
So he leaves, and now it's them driving back to
Tokyo.
no, they're driving back to their hometown, right? Or I guess they gotta drive back to Tokyo and then they catch a
Yeah,
flight and
because
then they basically they go back to Tokyo and then they go home because they
they
gotta
take the
travel.
train.
But it seems like they stop at every place that Suzume
Hell
like stayed
yeah,
at.
she had to apologize and thank him.
Yeah,
Like, damn, I'm sorry that this little shit rolled up on you like
yeah,
a fucking homeless runaway.
yup. And
And
then it
they get back to
shows,
town.
they're back in town, and this is kind of how it like shows as the beginning because Suzume leaves for school and she's on her bike and she's going, and that's where she sees off in the distance Sota walking towards her.
Like 25, by the way.
Yeah.
She's like
And
17 or 18 max,
yeah.
by the way.
Not even 18.
Not even 18.
She's probably like 16 realistically. Or like,
I thought that she said she was in middle school
well, here's what
because of
I thought,
Chica.
right? Because she said that she was like 2 or 4 when Tamaki like took over,
Took
right, as her
over.
parent. And if it was 12 years later, she'd only be 16.
So she's
She's probably
14 or
16.
16.
Yeah.
Bro, Sota's a fucking menace.
But hey man, that's Japan for you. As long as you're just a year above that 13 level back then, you're fine.
Hey, you know what they say? If it bleeds, it breeds.
Yep. Like the gypsies say, if her feet can touch the floor, she could get married.
If there's grass on the field, play ball.
Yup.
Salt is just like me for real.
You're like, so guys, this is where I announce I'm moving to Japan.
Nah, that's probably. I ain't even gonna say anything
So,
anymore. I'm gonna stop there.
yeah, we'll just stop there. So, and it basically like Sota
Just them
and
spending time.
Suzume, yeah, basically just re-meeting again.
They probably had some "I missed you" sex.
Shit, I would.
Damn, I missed you. I missed you too.
Oh
Hit it from the
God.
back, make a shit clap.
Uh, yeah,
Yes. Oh, yeah, but that was the anime.
that was the end of the movie. It
That
was
was
pretty
it.
good.
Which
It was visually nice to look at because I
I
liked
just
the
wish they
way
went.
Weathering with You looked.
Yeah, I agree. The visuals are amazing, but I just wish they went more into the whole plot of the story or whatever. I wish they gave us more details about these doors,
Yeah,
these worms, and these gods. Like
yeah.
why do we need to know? They didn't really tell us anything. Like realistically, they didn't really tell us much throughout the entire two
Except,
hours of the movie.
except the closers keep the doors closed, but
Bitch, I can do that.
yeah, I keep doors closed all the time.
Oh me, and you would think because she's like, "Well, do you get paid to do this?" He's like, "Nah,
Nah,
we
that's why
normally have
I'm
to
gonna
keep
be
this
a
shit
teacher.
secret." It's like, bitch, are you kidding me? I would have went straight to the government, told them, "Hey, y'all got some fucked up situations going on here, and we're closing these fucking doors. You need to pay us, or like y'all need to have somebody take over." Because they'd probably find some way to like turn it into a profitable business. That's all I'm saying. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's what they should have been doing. I swear, bro.
Yeah.
Stupid people.
Fucking stupid people.
Generations? You're telling me generations of his
Yeah.
family were doing that
Yeah.
shit
For
and they
free.
still
For
ain't get
free?
paid?
For free?
For free is crazy.
You know what they say. If you're good at something, you might as well get paid for it.
Oh me, like y'all are slaving away. They might as well have some whips and be lashing the shit out of you while you're doing it too.
Yeah. Might as well have. Uh,
Fuck, dude.
that was the movie of this week. It was Suzume. Bozo gave it a
Seven,
seven and a
7.5.
half, and I Wired give it a 7.7, which was pretty
Not bad.
good compared to the. I'd say that was better than the last two movies we watched.
I would say it was good.
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I
I
definitely think it was one of the better anime movies I've seen.
I
It's
enjoyed
definitely in the
it
top 10.
more. I enjoyed it more than the last fucking movie I recommended.
I
That's for
What was the
sure.
last movie you recommended?
Some trash movie.
I don't nah, seriously, what was the movie?
Let's see. It was the Deer King that you recommended.
Ass.
Embracing. It was the Tunnel to Summer. The Exit of Goodbyes.
God, we've watched some trash movies.
That one was pretty bad. The Deer King
Fuck.
was a little better, and I feel like this one was better than both of those last
This
two.
one beat them by a huge amount.
Yeah,
Like, don't get me wrong, this movie isn't like the best, but
but
those two
it's
movies made
good.
this movie like
I
it's
w-
a
I
fucking
wasn't
nine.
I wasn't watching this movie and thinking, oh, I have to do this, right? Like once
Right.
I started watching, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Like I'm
Right,
enjoying
this
it.
ain't bad.
One next thing I knew, I was fucking like an hour in, and I was like, damn, already?
You know what movie we should watch next? The Tiger and the Fish. Have you seen that movie?
No, it's in my list. That's the Josie
Let's
one, right?
yeah, we'll watch
I
that one,
asked
dude.
you
Let's
because
watch
I was
that one.
gonna recommend that one, but I think you were like, oh yeah, I've
I've
seen
already
it.
seen it. I'll
Yeah.
rewatch it though. It was really good.
All
I
right.
enjoyed it.
So there we go. We have our next movie. It is gonna be what'd you say it was? It was Josie the Tiger. What'd you say it was? Is
Tiger and the Fish.
that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Josie the Tiger and the Fish. That is the movie for next week. And if you have any recommendations, put them down below, and we will do them and review them and talk about it.
At some point.
Yep, at some point. And if you enjoyed this episode of Normalcy Aside, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and that's it.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one. Goodbye.